it's Paul Rosen for the Rosen Report, powered by the National Benefit Authority. I am absolutely honored to have on Akiva Medjuck. Akiva, great to have you on the Rosen Report.
You know what? It's an honor. It's an honor to be here. I love you, and anything that you do, I want to be right behind you.
Thank you. And anybody that knows me, if you actually love me, I love you back. So that's great. Let me tell you a little bit about Akiva. So Akiva was born June 4th, 1979. He has 4 kids, 3 boys and 1 girl. And he started and founded the National Benefit Authority in 2008. So let's get right into that. How did you start this company? It's a phenomenal company, which we're going to really get into in depth. But why and how did you start this company?
So like most amazing things that happen in a person's life, it was very unplanned. I was trying to help some family members to, with their disabilities, and to help them to look around and to see what was available to them. And when I stumbled upon the disability tax credit, I never even knew it existed. And then when I tried applying for it, I realized that, the first time we were rejected, the second time we were approved, and we didn't actually get the money that we were supposed to get. And it ended up being almost a 2-year process. And afterwards, it just hit me. I said, you know what? I didn't know about it. If I didn't know about this, how many other Canadians are there out there that aren't aware of the disability tax credit, aren't aware of money that they may be entitled to? And I just remember being so overwhelmed as a family member. I was taking care of my kids. I was, newly married, I was working at that point in a different industry. And I said, if I'm overwhelmed doing this, how many people don't even know about it? And if they find out about it, may just be too discouraged by the roadblocks to be able to try to see if they're eligible. So sure enough, I started. I actually started as a free service, just being able to give people information on it and encouraging people to go out and to collect it on their own. And what I found after 6 months is we'd followed up with those people that we had given the information to, et cetera. And we said, did you apply? About half of them said, we just didn't get around to it yet. I said, you didn't get around to it yet? There's a lot of money here. This money is going to make a huge difference. It's going to make an impact on your family. Like, we're not talking about a couple $100. We're talking about thousands of dollars. And I was just flabbergasted by the answer. And the other group of people said, we applied and we got rejected. I said, you got rejected? Yep. I said, what do you mean? One of those people was an amputee. And I said, what do you mean you got rejected? I said, I don't know, we got rejected. It's obviously not for us. So what do you mean it's not for you? You're missing a leg. Obviously it takes you an inordinate amount of time to walk. So it kind of went on from there. And before you know it, I realized that without actually creating a company and a process to be able to walk people through it and to ensure that they don't get stuck in the red tape, it's not going to reach the intended audience. It's not going to have that reach that the generous government program intended it to have.
Right, and you know what? The process is a difficult one when you try it on your own. I have tried to. I am, and I will talk about that shortly. I am was a client with the National Benefit Authority, who really took me to the next level. But I'm telling you, if you are an individual and you're trying to do this on your own, maybe 1 or 2 out of 10 could actually do it. You really need a great company, and let's get into that. So the first time I had the honor of walking through the doors at the National Benefit Authority, I was blown away. Why don't you tell the people out there that are watching all over the world what to expect if you ever have the opportunity to walk in the doors of the National Benefit Authority?
So you know what, I'm happy you're bringing this up, because the National Benefit Authority It's not one person. It's not a CEO. It's not the National Benefit Authority. It's a group of 160 amazing people, people that are dedicating their lives to ensure that every Canadian who may be eligible for the disability tax credit has an opportunity to apply and has the best opportunity to apply. So when you walk in, you find a very personal atmosphere, which is nice because 160 person company, it's a nice size. It's not too large that you get lost, but it's also not too small to ensure that you're able to get the best care possible. And one of the best benefits that people enjoy working with us is that they actually build a rapport with their specialist, which is something that the Canada Revenue Agency doesn't really afford, that you could actually call back and speak to the same person and have the same person walk you through and many times it's a 12-month process. So you're actually talking to somebody, you're getting to know them. One of my favorite parts of the company is that when you walk down the hall, you see a wall of thank you notes. And for me, out of everything, that's really the most special part. And we actually it's right outside my office, so anybody walking is able to see it. Our team meeting room, it's right outside there. And when you see that, and when you read some of those, how we've changed people's lives, we've made their Christmas, we've allowed them to take the first family vacation that they've taken 30 years. I like that. I like those letters even more than the 1,200 testimonials that we have online, even though the letters we maybe have 100 of. But I like them more. There's something about a handwritten letter or handwritten card, which is very personal. And people write them to their specialists, the specialists that have walked them through this process, saying, when I came to you, I did not have hope. I did not think that I was going to get this money. I figured it was a long shot. A family member told me that you helped them, so I figured I would come, but I didn't really believe it. And I got my check yesterday. You've changed my life. So those are, we've built the company around feelings, around personal touch, around caring. Empathy is probably one of the strongest collective feelings that we have as a company. How best, how to be able to relate. And the amazing part is so many people in our company have family members with disabilities. So this isn't just Akiva who started the company who has family members, but it's so many people in the company, and many of the people in the company are dealing with disabilities themselves or in their immediate family, whether it's with a spouse, a partner, etc. So it's a way to be able to live your life by paying it forward, by being appreciative, of the blessings that we have, and saying, what, we want to help. And the amazing thing is that we've successfully helped over 40,000 Canadians. And that number blows my mind, that there were 40,000 Canadians out there that were not receiving the money that they should be receiving. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. So our work has just only begun. And we've been around for 8 years, but there's so much more we want to do. There's so many more people that we want to reach out to. And it's amazing to come to work every day knowing that you're on a mission.
You said something that really means a lot to me. You said hope. And hope is a huge thing. When you get an opportunity to get on the phone and talk to somebody and give them hope, as I can speak to personally, because when I got involved with the National Benefit Authority, I was given hope. After 2010, winning gold medals and traveling all over the world and being a big shot supposedly, my life changed and it was going downhill fast. I had the opportunity to speak to one of the specialists at the National Benefit Authority who gave me hope, gave me that opportunity to realize that I could get what was rightfully mine, gave me the opportunity to get first and last on an apartment, get my life back on track. 6 years later, I'm back on top, getting things going, hosting the Rosen Report, powered by the National Benefit Authority. And it's like the people, I say this always in a context of a sport event, Akiva, is when we walked into the dressing room for the first time in Torino or in Vancouver, there was hundreds of letters outside of our dressing room and saying, Rosey, good luck, we love you. And if the people that write the letter don't understand that that person, whether it's me coming in the dressing room, or if it's Sally or John or Carolyn at the National Benefit Authority that are getting ready to get into their desk to make that phone call, and they see that letter, that is what heart and soul is about, ladies and gentlemen. That is what takes you to the next level. That's why this company is unbelievable. And that's why this company at 40,000, which is a great number, it's going to be 80,000. I will guarantee at some point, maybe 3 years, 5 years, 10 years down the road, we're hitting 80,000. This is Paul Rosen for the Rosen Report, and we'll be back after these messages.
The National Benefit Authority helps people with disabilities receive the disability tax credit from the Canadian government. We navigate all obstacles with you to determine your eligibility and position you best for a successful 10-year retroactive claim, and receive up to $20,000 for an adult and $50,000 for a child.
The National Benefit Authority went back 10 years and got me money I didn't even know was mine.
Get the money you deserve. Call us at 1-855-456-6688.
Now, Akiva, I've had the honor of traveling to Ottawa, to the nation's capital. Anybody from Canada knows I think Canada's the greatest country in the world. You go to Ottawa, you just see the way this country is put together. What is the future of the National Benefit Authority, and why you're so passionate about Ottawa and politics?
So I'm happy you brought this up, because this is something that really started for me a couple of years ago, when we started dealing with the government, and there was actually a bill introduced to be able to overlook the important work that companies like ours are doing. So it was at that point that we decided that we needed to have a presence in Ottawa. It was important for the parliamentarians to see firsthand and to meet with us, and for us to explain to them the work that we're doing. And I know that I've invited you to Ottawa as well for some of our meetings. And when we sit down with a member of Parliament, the first thing that we do is that we show them how many of their constituents we have helped. Right. And on every single occasion, they're blown away. Because generally the average number in each constituency is over 2,000. So we have actually helped over 2,000 people in their constituency. And the response that we're getting from them is that they're thankful, and they actually very much appreciate the work that we're doing and how we're helping. And as one cabinet member who visited our office, he spoke with our team, and he said, anyone who thinks that this is an easy process should see my constituency office on a Friday and see the lineup of people asking for help with their passport applications.
Right.
So he said, this is not easy. Unfortunately, by nature, anything to do with Canada Revenue Agency is a challenge. And just like people have accountants to assist them with their taxes, we are professionals and we are experts to guide them through the disability tax credit process. And not only do we guide them through, but we also make sure that they're going to be eligible for many years moving forward, that they could just, that they're able to collect it on their own. So being in Ottawa, and especially I must say that a number of months ago, since starting to meet with the new government, and we've met with over 35 members of Parliament of the Liberal Party, and they've been so receptive, so warm, so full of energy that that you really kind of you have the feeling of what sunny days
Right.
really are. And we're looking forward to that. We're looking forward to building that relationship and for them to continue to understand how much work is required to ensure. And we want to continue partnering with them.
Yeah, and 100%. It is an absolute thrill to get to Parliament, to sit down, to understand as a Canadian, especially a Canadian who's been to the Paralympic Games and achieved some pretty cool things, to be able to sit down and talk to the Parliament that we elected into power. They didn't just wake up one morning and become Prime Minister and Minister of Health, Minister of Sport. We actually elected them into that position. We're going to talk about a few other things. I just want to tell people out there that are watching the Rosen Report is that if you are disabled, and I can tell you that firsthand because I lost my leg in 1999. So 39 years able-bodied, 17 and counting disabled. If you're disabled out there and you need help and you want to get this tax credit that is rightfully yours, the money that is rightfully yours, I would tell you and plead with you to call the National Benefit Authority. Do not listen to me. Call them, let them talk to you and see where it goes. I'm pretty positive that you're going to have a positive result. Akiva.
Rosey, I want to ask you something.
Go ahead.
Would you be shocked if I told you that we receive over 1,500 calls a day?
No, not at all. Because I've seen the workings. I've walked in the back and the heart and soul, the heartbeat of the company, and watched all the people. And I've never walked by and seen somebody sitting there eating their lunch. They're continuously on the phone. And another thing about the company I want you to tell people, the hours. Like, this blows me away. You guys aren't open like 5-6 hours a day.
Our busiest hours are from 5:30 to 8:30. Which are the hours that CRA is not open.
When actually people come home from work, correct?
Exactly. So we realized that our clients have work. They work 9 to 5. So to be able to make a phone call during work isn't optimal. We've also opened on Sundays. So we're open on Sundays from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Which is fantastic.
Which is a perfect day.
Right.
So if you make yourselves accessible and you make the disability tax credit and the information surrounding it accessible to Canadians, it's a game changer.
Well, this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to get that disability, that word disability, into ability. And by making this accessible, we are bringing ability into disability. Akiva, if you had the opportunity now, born in 1979, you've had some wisdom, you've been able to see things on the good end and the bad end of life. If you had the opportunity to sit down with a 15-year-old Akiva Medjuck, what would you say to him?
I love you.
I like that. I absolutely like that.
I would say I had a lot of challenges in school. I had learning disabilities. At the time that I went to school, they weren't really identified and they weren't acknowledged, and it was very challenging. I was pushed down in school. I constantly felt like a failure. So what I would really say to that 15-year-old is that I love you. You could be whoever you want to be if you put your mind to it. You're smart, and you have the world as your playground. And don't let anyone discourage you. Don't let yourself feel unloved. And love is the most important thing. If you feel loved, you could conquer the world. If a child or anybody, even an adult, doesn't feel that love, then it's very, very challenging. So I would say you're going to do amazing things and keep a smile on your face, and I love you.
What a great way to end the segment. Entrepreneur, incredible guy. I have a ton of respect, ton of admiration for this gentleman sitting on the couch on the Rosen Report. Akiva, are you ready? You have your seatbelt there? Put your seatbelt.
Let me put both feet on the ground.
Sure, strap in, because it's my favorite part of the show. It's rapid fire, and rapid fire on the Rosen Report is powered by the National Benefit Authority. Akiva, let's go, let's roll. Number one, favorite movie. Remember, this is rapid fire.
I know, I'm trying. Die Hard.
Die Hard, okay, cool. Favorite restaurant?
It would be in Montreal, Chops Restaurant.
Okay.
Kosher restaurant.
That's okay. You've taken me some great kosher restaurants. Name of your first pet?
Kita.
First car?
It's a Buick LeSabre.
Wow, old school. Favorite band?
I would probably say Van Halen.
Another good band, excellent. Favorite country?
Canada by far.
Favorite city?
I'm going to say Montreal.
Okay. Favorite food?
Can we go back to city again?
Sure, favorite city?
Jerusalem.
Beautiful. I thought you were going to say something like Tel Aviv, just phenomenal.
Jerusalem.
Had the opportunity to be in Jerusalem many times.
And the reason I love Jerusalem is because all world religions.
Yeah.
It's open for them to freely practice their religion.
Yeah.
And it's just beautiful to see.
Absolutely, absolutely. Did you not have your oldest son's bar mitzvah in Jerusalem?
My oldest son's bar mitzvah was there last year, and my bar mitzvah was in Jerusalem.
Fantastic. Want to say shout out, say hi to your oldest son?
Shalom, I love you.
There you go.
Mazel tov.
Beautiful. Mazel tov from me too. Favorite food?
Sushi.
Sushi.
Meat sushi.
Okay, I love sushi.
Very unique.
Favorite sport?
My favorite sport would have to be hockey.
Okay, thank you. Good answer. Okay, Akiva, this is a serious one.
Yes.
If you could change one thing about this world we live in, what would it be?
I would say dialogue. Dialogue and respect. That different religions, different cultures, different political parties would be able to participate in a peaceful, friendly dialogue that would foster growth. Growth for the world. I find that unfortunately there's so much anger and hate in the world, and lack of respect in the world. That with just a little bit more respect, tolerance, love, that the world would change drastically.
Fantastic. What a way to end the show. I want to thank my guest, Akiva Medjuck from the National Benefit Authority. It's been an honor having you on the show.
Rosey, thank you. The honor's mine, and just remember, me sitting here, I have the honor of representing all 160 of our employees.
Absolutely. This is Paul Rosen for the Rosen Report, powered by the National Benefit Authority. Till we see each other again, be well.
I love you, Paul.
I love you too, brother.